In the realm of American history, certain court cases stand out as pivotal moments that shaped the nation's legal landscape. One such case is Tinker v. Des Moines, a landmark Supreme Court decision in 1969. The case centered around a group of students who wore black armbands to protest the Vietnam War, and it raised important questions about the constitutional rights of students within the school setting. This case had a significant impact on First Amendment protections for students, setting a precedent for future generations. The origins of the case can be traced back to the turbulent 1960s, a time of social and political upheaval in the United States. Mary Beth Tinker, a 13-year-old student, and her brother John Tinker, a 15-year-old student, along with their friend Christopher Eckhart, decided to express their opposition to the Vietnam War by wearing black armbands to their respective schools in Des Moines, Iowa. The schools, however, had a policy prohibiting the armbands, leading to their suspension. The students, supported by their families, believed that their First Amendment rights were being violated, leading to a legal battle that would ultimately reach the Supreme Court. The main issue at stake in Tinker v. Des Moines was whether students' free speech rights extended to the school environment. The Supreme Court's decision would determine whether schools had the authority to limit or restrict students' expression. The Tinkers and Eckhart were represented by their attorney, Dan Johnston, who argued that their silent and non-disruptive protest was a form of protected speech. On the other side, the school district argued that the armbands were disruptive and could potentially incite violence, justifying the need for the policy. On February 24, 1969, the Supreme Court announced its decision in favor of the students by a vote of 7-2. The court, in an opinion authored by Justice Abe Fortas, recognized that students do not shed their constitutional rights at the schoolhouse gate. The majority opinion emphasized the importance of protecting students' freedom of expression as long as it does not substantially disrupt the school environment. This ruling firmly established that students have the right to express their opinions within the boundaries of public schools. Tinker v. Des Moines had far-reaching implications beyond the immediate case. It reinforced the notion that students retain their constitutional rights even while attending public schools. The court recognized that schools have a legitimate interest in maintaining order and preventing disruption, but this interest must be balanced with the fundamental rights of students to express themselves. The ruling set a precedent for future cases, providing a framework for analyzing the free speech rights of students in schools. Over the years, Tinker v. Des Moines has been cited in numerous cases involving student speech rights. Courts have commonly applied the Tinker standard, known as the substantial disruption test, to determine whether a school's actions in regulating student expression were constitutional. This test requires schools to demonstrate that the student's speech caused, or was reasonably forecasted to cause, substantial disruption to the educational environment. The decision stands as a significant victory for students' First Amendment rights and continues to shape the legal landscape related to free speech in schools. In conclusion, Tinker v. Des Moines remains a pivotal case that reshaped the landscape of free speech rights for students. The Supreme Court's recognition that students do not shed their constitutional rights at the schoolhouse gate marked a turning point in the understanding of First Amendment protections in the educational context. The case left a lasting legacy, affirming the importance of fostering an environment in schools where students can freely and respectfully express their views. Tinker v. Des Moines serves as a reminder of the impact that young individuals can have on upholding constitutional rights, even in the face of challenges.